110. Chalk finishes that race with an absolutely massive 210.4 words per minute. That is absolutely insane. 167 words per minute. He down. Sean got a 140. We got ping pong balls here. We got the ping pong ball. We got the ping pong balls quote. Hello and welcome back to Speed Typing. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 2020 Ultimate Typing Championships that happened virtually a few days ago. Let's get into the video. The beginning of the tournament started out very strong. In order to qualify for the top 25, you had to have an average of 181 words per minute. But this proved to fall through the cracks a bit after several typists dropped out of the event, leading to people with an average of, I believe, 170 words per minute was the lowest, were able to qualify. Now, from the qualifying event, Sean Rona appeared dominant with a typing speed of about 203.5 words per minute over an average of 30 races. Izzy came in second with 203.3 words per minute. Again, this was the average of his top 30 races, and Chalk was third with 200 words per minute. Now, after the qualifying event ended, all the racers were split into 4 pools, and what each pool meant is that basically whoever was in your pool would be the people that you would race with on the track during the top 25 part of the tournament. However, whether you would qualify is purely determined how you ranked up against everyone total, whether or not you were the fastest in your pool. And this led to, for example, 4 people qualifying out of a single pool, Group B, Izzy, Adam, VL, and Typer Unknown, whereas in another pool that had close to 8 typists, only Matthew Yang qualified out of. So it was an interesting way to start the top 25 of the tournament. Now, in the 8 finals, there was quite a few surprises, and I'd say that the biggest surprise coming out of the 8 finals was that both Pickle Power, who qualified 26th, and Matthew Yang, who qualified 38th for the event, were both able to make it into the top 10 with absolutely astounding scores. And they were both kind of known as the wild cards or dark horses of the event, and there was a lot of hype that happened around both of them. Another highlight coming out of the 8 finals was that there was a very difficult text that was thrown in. That was the alphabet kind of mixed around, put backwards in many different combinations, leading to a typist like Chalk only getting 70 words per minute on the text, and Sean Rona was able to come out on top with the score around in the 100 words per minute range on that text. The last highlight from the beginning of the tournament was that 2 very high-profile typists, Alpha Panda and Shazi, both dropped out of the tournament because they didn't want their faces to be shown for a prolonged period of time. And Shazi and Alpha Panda would have probably both be able to easily make the top 10, so it was a shock at the beginning of the tournament to see them both drop out. After the 8 finals ended, there was 10 typists who qualified into the quarterfinals, and they were Anthony E., otherwise known as Chalk, Emre, otherwise known as Aiko, and Brandon VL, Adamski, Typer Unknown, Kathy, Sean Rona, Izzy, Matthew Yang, and Alex M., otherwise known as Pickle Power. Now, the quarterfinals is where the live event on both YouTube and Twitch started for the Ultimate Typing Championships, meaning that it put much more pressure on the typists, knowing that they were going to be displayed live, and this was the top 10, and the top 4 would be qualifying into the semifinals. Now, on the first race in Group 1, which had Chalk in it, Chalk was able to pull off a remarkable 203 words per minute, signaling what was to come later on in the tournament. And Aiko was able to get second in that room with 190 words per minute, also signaling his impeccable performance that we were going to be seeing later on in the event. In the second race of the quarterfinals, Chalk again was able to pull off a race somewhere in the 190 range. Very impressive, and considering the difficulty of the quote, everyone else in his room was only going about 140 words per minute at the time that he finished. Here we go. Oh, this is difficult for punctuation. Okay, we got Pickle going 113, Sean's going 106, Sean's dropping down, going 117. Okay, we got Sean pulling ahead here, 134, that's really commanding. Sean is going to be winning this text, is my guess. He's going 140. We have Kathy, who is coming behind him about 120. This is the other room. Chalk is going 166, 167, 170. Chalk is bursting like crazy on this text. This is insane. And we have Chalk, who finishes with something in the 170s, 180s there. We have everyone struggling back behind. In the other room, Sean was able to win with 145 words per minute. Second was Kathy with 134. Third was... I can't see who got third there. In the other room, we got Mako with 144, VL with 188, Typer unknown with 130 right there. Oh, he got off the screen. So we had Chalk again with a very, very commanding performance, proving that even though he is framed as someone who can only burst, who is not good at those kinds of texts, he just showed here that even on tough punctuation, he can still beat Sean, and he's still the best. Now in the third race, in room 2, we really see the potential of a very important typist in this tournament, and that is Matthew Yang. He was able to burst out 170 words at the start of the race, which was very, very far away from everyone else when they did start. And while he wasn't able to win the race, this was just a sign that someone who was never part of the typing community before this tournament has a lot of power and a lot of potential later on. Matthew is going 170. That's insane. Okay, we have Sean, who's struggling in this room. Matthew's going 170. Kathy's going 130. Sean's trying to pull ahead here with 150. Matthew's going 170 here. We have Pickle Power, who is struggling. Matthew's going 170. He's choking here. Sean's catching up. Sean passed him with 166. Sean chokes again. Matthew's pulling ahead. We have Kathy, who's right in there too. Looks like Sean's having trouble bursting here. Sean's going ahead now. We have Matthew. This is going to be a really close one. And we have Sean. Oh, who's going to win? We have Sean, I think, is going to be able to take this, or it's Kat. This text is so hard. Okay, we have Matthew pulling ahead again. Okay, Matthew's playing out a counter and street. Matthew, oh wait, that was so close. Matthew, okay, Sean got a 162 with 2.9. Kathy got a 162.5. Matthew got a 162.3. That was so very, very, very close there at the end. And we had Pickle Power with 133, and I believe Adam with a 160. Where is the other room? Wait, did you catch that? Did you catch the look on Matthew Yang's face? Now that look is pure happiness, and while he probably knew he wasn't going to qualify, it's just great to see that passion coming from typists, and just him being happy knowing that he put up a good score and that he's representing himself well for being, one of the biggest wildcards and one of the biggest surprises in this event.
170, 160 words per minute, showing, hey, I got in this tournament for a reason. Everyone's doing pretty fast here. Taking a glance real quick at the other room, we see everyone pulling ahead pretty quick. Matthew Yang with 168, showing a nice dominance over Sean and even Izzy. Chak, oh my gosh, looking incredible with over 200 inhuman speeds on his side, pulling ahead, making Aiko's 170 look slow by comparison. Absolutely bonkers. We see everyone a little more neck and neck, and Matthew Yang, Sean, and Lanny's room, really close speeds here. The thing about this sort of quote, notice how all the text is very typical language here. It's not as much of an academic text. Chak pulls ahead with the victory, 189.7 words per minute in his room. Aiko coming in a bit after at 166.9 per minute. Really close finish. Oh my goodness. Sean barely winning by 0.4 words per minute over Kathy. And then Kathy barely winning over Matthew, who gets third by 0.2 words per minute difference. This is a really close, really critical difference here. And if I'm Sean right now, I am thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I just won that, because that was a very, very close one. Same with Kathy too, being just above Matthew there. These little things will make a big difference here in the long run.
We got the ping pong ball. We got the ping pong balls quote. Now, race 4 of the quarterfinals was probably one of the bigger highlights of the tournament, and it was because it was a reincarnation of the ping pong balls text which showed up at the 2010 Ultimate Typing Championships. Now, in the final, Sean Rona was able to get 124 words per minute on the text, and in this race, Chalk was able to pull off an absolutely amazing score of 165 words per minute on the same ping pong balls text, which was one of the hardest in the world, so it was very, very good score to see from him. And there was also multiple people who were able to get above Sean Rona's 124 words per minute score in this tournament, including Sean Rona himself, who was able to pull off 161 words per minute on that quote. Oh, we got ping pong balls here. We got the ping pong ball. We got the ping pong balls quote. It is here. This is going to throw a big wrench into the system, but I expect Sean to be able to pull ahead pretty easily here. Chalk is going 160 on ping pong balls. This is absolutely insane. Okay, just for a bit of context, Sean Rona was able to go about 124 words per minute on this in the Ultimate Typing Championships last year, but they're using this text again, the ping pong ball text. Here we go. This is a very lengthy text too. So we have, who's pulling ahead here? We have Kathy, who's doing decently well here. Chalk is going 170 words per minute on ping pong balls. This is absolutely insane. This is insane. For Chalk to be able to go 170 words per minute on this, look at the text. That text is one of the hardest in the world, and Chalk is going 160 words per minute on it. To me, that is just completely unbelievable. It's going to be, Sean Rona got a lot of criticism for only winning with 120 words per minute, but if Chalk is going to be able to get, 160 words per minute on this would be absolutely insane. Where is Sean Rona? Sean Rona is going about 150 words per minute on this quote right now, I believe, is his current score. So he's definitely doing better. He's leading his room right now. We have Matthew, who is going 120. Pickle is struggling on this quote. Again, we have Sean and Kathy and Matthew and Adam C. pretty close on this quote here, though. Sean is pulling ahead on this one. Okay, we have Sean going about 145 words from here. This is a big improvement, and he seems to be pulling a bit ahead from Adam, Matthew, and VL. And we have Chalk slowing down, going only 150 words per minute on this quote. We have insane letters, symbols, numbers. You can see Chalk is powering through them. This is absolutely insane. You can see there, rooftop, symbol, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, random numbers, N, 1, 2, 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4, dot. The next day they were gathered in the man's house for the big revelation. The man, you can see Aiko's trying to pull ahead here. We have Chalk slowing down to 140 words per minute. This is still absolutely insane for me to be going this speed on this quote. Here we go. VL is going 114 words per minute. We have Typer Unknown going 106 words per minute. So you can see people are struggling to an extreme right now. 7 friends, whatever the man spent $240,000 on ping pong balls. You have Aiko. Okay, you have Sean here, who is pulling ahead right now, 144 words per minute. So Sean and Chalk are actually getting pretty close on this quote now. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to get a higher score. This is a very, very long quote. You have Kathy, who's going 120 words per minute on this quote. You have people who are struggling. Pickle Power is dropping into the 90 words per minute. He's probably hit that section where you have all those symbols, so it's very, very hard. Don't get me wrong, this quote is one of the hardest in the world. Chalk is still keeping up on 150 words per minute average on Type or X right now on this quote. You have Eiko and Veal, who are both going about 112 right now. No one is dropping from group 1 below 100 words per minute right now, but we have Type Unknown dropping down there. Chalk is still managing to go 150 words per minute here as we hit this text, and Sean is actually going faster than Chalk, 152, 153 words per minute on the ping pong ball text. This is absolutely insane. I can't believe that they're using this text again in the Ultimate Typing Championships. Let's see what Nico's saying. Okay, so we have Sean going 155 now. Pickle is really, really struggling on this quote. As you can see, he's smiling on his face. He knows that he's not going to do very well at all in this quote. This is probably going to be where Pickle is going to be dropping out, so I feel really bad for him. But yeah, just going 93 words per minute on this quote is not going to be enough to cut it, unfortunately, for him. Sean is going 160. Chalk is going 160. They're both tied. This is absolutely insane. Chalk is still going 160. He's hopefully going to be finishing this quote soon. These are very, very complex words. Here we go. Eiko is going 123. He's keeping up with what Sean did in 2010. Is Sean going to be able to capitalize on the fact that he has experience under pressure with this quote? So he's going to be able to use maybe a bit of the muscle memory that he has. He's practiced this quote. This quote is public, so it's going to be really interesting to see if Chalk is actually going to be able to beat Sean on this difficult quote. Okay, Sean's dropping down to 155. Don't undermine Matt Yang. Yes, Matthew Yang still has a chance here to beat what Sean got last year, but Pickle is still struggling, going in the 80 words per minute, 90 words per minute. As you can see, Sean is going 160 words per minute again. Here we go. You can see Sean is bursting through this quote when he doesn't have the symbols here. Pickle Power is obviously struggling to an extreme right now. You have Matthew Yang. You can see the amount of focus that he has on his face here. Is he going to be able to do well on this quote? He's going 124, 125. If he can beat Kathy, Matthew has a very, very good chance to get and qualify into the semifinals. We have Chalk's face cam finally here. Chalk's going 164 words per minute, 165. You can see his face cam for a second there. You have Aiko going 131 words per minute. Chalk is going 165 words per minute on this right now. This is absolutely insane. This is absolutely insane from Chalk. And Chalk is going to be finishing this text right away. Here you go. And Chalk finishes the text with a speed of 165 words per minute, 98.5 accuracy. This is going down in history. To be able to go 165 words per minute, a quote, that is one of the most difficult in the world. And I think that this is going to be the deciding moment for Chalk to be able to take this over Sean. And Sean got 161 words per minute on this quote, which is a massive jump up. But the fact that Chalk was able to beat him on this quote, I think, sends a massive signal to Sean Rona that, hey, it's Chalk here, and I'm crushing you on this text. Pickle Power going 100 words per minute. It's not surprising. He doesn't have the most experience in these types. Now, after the 5 races that happened in the quarterfinals, it was pretty clear the 4 typists would be moving on to the semifinals, and they were Chalk, who dominantly won every single race in his pool, and I believe at this point he had won every single race in the tournament that he competed in so far, so it was no surprise that he made it into the semifinals. Also in his room, Aiko was able to pull it off quite comfortably over VL, and VL did get some chances, but Aiko was simply more consistent with the 5 quarterfinal races. And in Group 2, it was also pretty clear that Kathy and Sean would both be going through into the semifinals, dominating over Izzy, Matthew Yang, and Pickle Power, though Matthew Yang and Izzy did put up quite good fights in the quarterfinals. Now, the first 2 races of the semifinals were pretty normal, with Chalk taking both of them, and it was becoming a bit clear that both Chalk and Sean were going to have to be contended with if either Aiko or Kathy wanted to get a final spot. But it was in the 3rd race of the semifinals that probably one of the biggest highlights and moments of the Ultimate Typing Championships happened, and that is when Chalk pulled off a quite dominant 167 words per minute on a very, very difficult quote, with Sean only getting 140 words per minute quote. And it was at this moment that Chalk, I think, knew that he had secured his finals position, and that is when he takes the time to dab. We see a smile from him, he wipes his hair away, and he knows that he's clenched that final spot. So it was great to see from Chalk, and a bit more passion and motivation that we see from these typists is always great to see. Okay, we got going again the last round. Chalk is bursting. That was insane there. 180 words per minute from Chalk. 177. You have Eco, who's bursting. Eco might actually be able to pull this one over Sean, and then Chalk is struggling again. Amado Avogadro. Oh, wow. Chalk was able to finish with 167 words per minute. He dabbed. Sean got a 140. Eco got a 130. Kathy got a 112. That was not the best from her. We could see that Sean and Chalk are probably going to be the ones in the final. It was in the 4th race of the semifinals that kind of the unexpected happened when Kathy was able to pull off a first place win with 182 words per minute, and Aiko was able to get 2nd place with 175 words per minute. So very, very impressive from both of them, and it kind of put Sean's finals position into question. And we will see the results shortly in the 5th race of the semifinals. Chalk was getting 4th with 172 words per minute, but it was already pretty clear at this point that Chalk had qualified. Okay, we got the second last race happening here. And we have Chalk again starting out, typically, like he usually will, with 170 words per minute. And you have Kathy going 165. Chalk is going 190 words per minute here. He's doing really well. You can see Chalk is extremely focused right now. You have Kathy, who is going pretty decently fast here, 169, 170 words per minute. And you have everyone who is pretty much tied right now. Chalk is, of course, a bit ahead from everyone else, as you can probably see. But Chalk is going 190 words per minute now. You have Sean, Kathy, Eco, all tied at around the 170, 180 words per minute range right now. And you have Chalk, who is kind of struggling down here. Could possibly someone beat Chalk for the first time in this whole competition? We will see here. You have Chalk going 183. You can see the focus on his face. Aiko is also very, very focused on this text that he is going. You can see Chalk's hand camera right there, and Chalk is going 170, 175 words per minute. and he's falling behind, and Kathy has passed Chalk. Is Kathy going to be able to take this win over Chalk? We will see, and Chalk is struggling here. This could be where Kathy makes or breaks this competition for her. Kathy's going 180 words per minute. Is Kathy going to be able to take this race? Kathy's going 180. Chalk's struggling down to 170 words per minute. Kathy's going 180. Is Kathy going to be able to win? You can see she's finishing, and all flesh shall see it together. Kathy takes this race with an astounding 182 words per minute. It's the first time anyone has beat Chalk in this entire competition. That is absolutely insane from Kathy. Great to see. Chalk actually got 4th in that race. That is a very, very surprising to see in this competition. Aiko was able to get 175 words per minute. So all of a sudden, you have the two people who were falling behind, who we weren't sure were actually going to be able to have a chance in this competition, who just got 1st and 2nd in this race. And you can see all the scores were very close, but Kathy was able to take that win. This is insane. Is Kathy going to be able to actually qualify ahead of Sean Rona or ahead of Chalk? For Kathy and Aiko to be able to all of a sudden take the win over Sean Rona and Chalk, that's insane. And Chalk to be able to get 4th in that race, it's really, really surprising to be able to see. Wow, that's a massive shock to me. We're heading into the last race. I'm not sure exactly how the numbers work out, but I think that Kathy and Aiko still both have a chance now based on the insane performance that they were just able to. And in the 5th and final race of the semifinals, both Chalk and Sean pulled off dominant 1st and 2nd place wins in that race over Kathy and Aiko, cementing their spots in the final and setting up one of the greatest showdowns that we have seen between the two typists. Okay, so we are getting confirmation that Sean Rona and Chalk are going to be versing each other for the final of the Ultimate Typing Championships 2020. This should be exciting. We'll get into it soon. Now, in the first race of the finals, it was pretty clear that Chalk had the edge, and he was able to take it over 7 words per minute over Sean Rona, 182 to 175 words per minute, and he led by 1-0. Now, in the second race of the finals, Chalk pulls off something that I don't think anyone expected that he would be able to pull off in the finals of this typing tournament, getting a whopping 210 words per minute. On this quote, Sean Rona only getting 183 words per minute, which is still very, very fast, but Chalk just overshadows that, getting almost 30 words per minute faster on the same quote in the finals, and I think this proved that he has surpassed Sean Rona in terms of typing speed.
Right now.
Bruh, 200.
206? God.
Yo,
Chalk is unstoppable. If he 200s this, 209?
He's gonna 200 it. Is he gonna 210 it?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
This is incredible. Oh my God.
200 it? Bruh.
No!
Is he gonna 210 it?
Oh my God.
In the third and final deciding race of the Ultimate Typing Championships, Chalk pulls off 180 words per minute over Sean Rona with 172 words per minute. And well, 2 further races would be played after this just because they wanted to do 5 races for the finals. Chalk did win 3-0 over Sean Rona. Thank you to DOS Keyboard for hosting the Ultimate Typing Championships this year, and I think it really contrasted to the 2010 Ultimate Typing Championships. The scores that we were seeing Chalk, Sean Rona, Kathy, Aiko, and others put up were really astounding, and I think that it really shows that typing has improved so much over the years, so that was always great to see. This was Speed Typing. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I talk a lot about typing. I'll see you in the next video. Type on and type faster.